The moment you stop performing and start being, everything changes.
Hello, my name is Lucy Macridis, and I am voiced by Lucy, your go-to voice for impactful storytelling and dynamic delivery.
Hi, this is Lucy, your clarity coach, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. Welcome to the Courage and Authenticity series, where we step boldly into our voice to make aligned decisions, and may I add, for ourselves and for others, in that order. This is episode 4, where we talk about authenticity as a superpower. Who would have thought that one day we would be saying that authenticity is a superpower? This suggests that it's okay to be who you are, that vulnerable person, not about, as they say, keeping up with the Joneses. But in today's world with social media, we tend to lean towards keeping up with the Joneses, and that comes at a very high price. So the question is, how does authenticity attract your tribe? And listen to me very carefully and take this with a pinch of salt. When we fall into the lure of social media, there's a certain way that we act, and authenticity is not it. When we fall into that lure of social media, there's a certain way we act, and authenticity is not it. So that question, how does authenticity attract your tribe? Whatever tribe you have, the day you switch and you start being, and therefore you're showing up your authenticity, everybody will leave the room. Because they cannot relate to this person. They're relating to the person who is not authentic. The person who is showing a different image. But today you're being authentic. You are being. You have stopped performing. The price that you're going to pay is that people are going to leave the room literally. Now, the ones who remain are attracted to authenticity because it is the truth. You see, with authenticity, we cannot be able to doubt it. Think about how we create connection. And I'll give you an example. There's an individual that you know, even I know these individuals, who are dominant. They are forceful. They even come across as very crass. And therefore, you cannot speak to these people. You're even afraid to step into their presence. That's the identity that they have built. And then you see somebody else sitting next to you saying, oh, that person, they are my role model. They are so open. They listen to me. They hear me. I feel seen. And then you start wondering, what are you on? Because can you see that person is dominant? They are crass. You know what has happened here? This individual most definitely has been vulnerable to this dominant person. And this dominant person has responded to this authenticity. Are you following me? You have to be vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, you're being, you're not performing. And that is when even the most hard-hearted person or individual will respond to your authenticity. And you'll be that person saying, I am seen. I am heard. You can only be seen and heard if you drop to a level of vulnerability. So when I say that authenticity is a superpower, take it exactly the way it is. Authenticity depends on your vulnerability. If you make a mistake, like today, I am here and I'm shooting this so that you can consume it. I'm making mistakes. I'm going back and I'm saying, I beg your pardon, and I'm repeating. And at times I'm having to read. It's okay. It's okay. I have learned from a long time that perfectionism was not taking me anywhere. It's the excellence of me delivering the message to you. It's no longer about me. I am here to help others rise into their being. So today, authenticity as a superpower is important because authenticity also builds freedom. And you're asking me, how, Lucy? Well, this happens when you stop performing. Think about it. What area are you performing in? How much work are you putting? In fact, let me rephrase that. How much tiring work are you putting in so that you can perform? And it is because you're not coming from an authentic point of your life. You reclaim your energy and peace when you choose authenticity. So here's an example, guys, and I know this may not land very well for most of us. When you live in a space where you do not need external approval, that is freedom. That's authenticity. When is the last time that you asked yourself what you think about what you're doing in that moment? When is the last time you reflected about what you just did and you gave yourself a pat on the back? That's internal validation. That negates us walking around and seeking external validation, because you can never please everybody. But there's one person you can please, and that is you. And that is what we're talking about when it comes to authenticity as a superpower. Let us help build one another. And until episode 5, which is the last episode of the month, be kind to yourself.